Rescuing dogs is full-on punk rock. Not as badass as it used to be. When we smuggled dogs out of the shelter that night with flashlights.
The mission is very simple. One Waggytail at a time, we're working to end animal homelessness in New York City.
There is actually a life at the end of all of the work we're doing.
Every penny matters. It's critical to us. With Zeffy, 100% of every donor dollar goes to an animal.
She showed me all the cages of the dogs that were gonna be euthanized the next day. And that was when I decided, I'm like, I gotta start my own rescue to take these dogs that nobody else wants. And I went home with 7 dogs. My name is Holly Dorito, and I founded Waggytail Rescue 21 years ago. I had a dog in my front basket in a carrier, 2 dogs in my back carrier, a dog in my backpack. And then they came out with this kitten, so they tied the box with the kitten onto my back. Each life matters, and every dollar matters, because all of the money goes towards the dogs. So we are able to save as many as we are able to fund saving.
Previously, we were using DonorBox to collect our donations. We found out that we actually weren't getting 100% of what our donors were giving to our organization. With that, we made the decision to switch full-time to Zeffy to utilize it as our one-stop shop. We rely heavily on our donors and our supporters. We don't have a physical office space, so many of the items that we utilize to care for our animals in care, cat or dog, come from either prior use or are donated to us. It's important to us to be able to have every penny go directly to the animals. Before we were using Zeffy, things seemed a little chaotic. We were having multiple different collections for donations, working with numerous different people in operations, as well as adopters who were waiting on potentially returned spay-neuter deposit money. It was just really hard for us to track 100% where all of our donations were coming from. We use Zeffy because it's an all-in-one platform for our organization. It's reduced a lot of time for us to have one-stop shop for everything kind of housed together, whether that's adoption donations, ticketing for upcoming events, fundraising such as our medical fundraiser, or selling raffle tickets, as well as for our merch shop. My name is Whitney, and I'm an operations team member for Waggytail Rescue. I have always loved animals. When I adopted my own dog, I fell madly in love. I had Brady for 6 years. I actually chose to adopt him as a senior. I spent considerable time caring for Brady towards the end of his life, and I just knew that I needed to find a way to honor him when he passed, and giving back to a rescue organization felt right to me. It just feels really good to know that there is a whole community who has similar stories about how an animal has touched their heart and their soul, and Waggytail continues to speak to that for me. For anyone who's unaware, the New York City Animal Care Centers, or the ACC, had to close their doors for several months over the summer because they had over 1,000 animals in their care at one time. We serve as what's called a New Hope partner, which means that we hold a special status. If they have an animal that might need more urgent medical attention, it's not doing well in care, they'll call us to see if we might be able to offer placement more readily than maybe an average adopter could. They vet every animal that comes through their door, and then they work with New Hope partners like us to make sure that an animal makes their way to a comfy home. We sometimes celebrate transports and bring animals from the south. Traditionally, Sage Garden is where we have our transport touchdown. When they've arrived, we'll bring our slip lead leash and take them into the garden, and then we'll coordinate with their foster parent and have them on their merry way.
It's really important to invest in the operational side of rescue so that you can better scale and make a bigger impact on the animal welfare crisis.
Since we started using Zeffy, we've saved over $2,500 on processing fees.
That amount of the donations could cover vetting for about 15 dogs from down south, vetting and transport. That could also help about 2 dogs with specialty surgery needs or diagnostic needs from our vulnerable New York City population. There is actually a life at the end of all of the work we're doing. And so knowing all those dollars go directly to the animals is the most important part.